Our top story this hour, there seems to be no end to gun violence and school shootings in the United States. Yet another incident has taken place in Nashville in Tennessee. A heavily armed shooter opened fire, killing 3 adults aged around 60 years and 3 children, all of them just 9 years old. The senseless gun violence unfolded after classes began at the school. Bullets were fired and soon scenes of children holding hands escaping the school emerged. Police officials who arrived at the scene engaged the shooter and shot her dead. The assailant was identified as Audrey Hale, a transgender woman. While searching her house, police officials recovered a manifesto from her room, which is being examined right now. As per reports, police officials who examined the manifesto said that she had planned to attack multiple locations. The Nashville district attorney called it an ultimate crime when school children and caregivers are victims of senseless gun violence.
Does she identify as transgender?
She does identify as transgender, yes.
And no motive at this point? Anything discovered in the apartment or house?
No, we have a manifesto. We have some writings that we're going over that pertain to this day, the actual incident. We have a map drawn out of how this was all going to take place. There's right now a theory of that we may be able to talk about later, but it's not confirmed, and so we'll put that out as soon as possible.
Aren't you guys tired of covering this? Aren't you guys tired of being here and having to cover all of these mass shootings? I'm from Highland Park, Illinois. My son and I survived a mass shooting over the summer. I am in Tennessee on a family vacation with my son, visiting my sister-in-law. I have been lobbying in D.C. since we survived a mass shooting in July. I have met with over 130 lawmakers. How is this still happening? How are our children still dying, and why are we failing them?
First responders raced to the crime scene in Nashville, Tennessee, where a heavily armed 28-year-old woman entered a private Christian school and fatally shot 3 children and 3 adults before being killed by police. An eyewitness captured a group of children holding hands while fleeing the scene. According to authorities, the woman was armed with at least 2 semi-automatic rifles and a handgun.
It's just, it's sick.
Reacting to the shooting in Washington, U.S. President Joe Biden urged lawmakers to do more to tackle gun violence and called on Congress to pass an assault weapons ban.
It's ripping our communities apart, ripping the soul of this nation, ripping at the very soul of the nation. You know, the shooter in this situation reportedly had 2 assault weapons and a pistol, 2 AK-47. So I call on Congress again to pass my assault weapons ban.
The Metropolitan Nashville Police Department began receiving calls shortly after 10 a.m. of a shooter at the Covenant School, which teaches children up to 6th grade and has about 200 students. Nashville Mayor John Cooper expressed sympathy for the victims and wrote on social media that his city, quote, joined the dreaded long list of communities to experience a school shooting. Students' parents were told to gather at the nearby Woodmont Baptist Church to be reunited with their children. Deadly mass shootings have become commonplace in the United States, but a female attacker is highly unusual. Only 4 of the 191 mass shootings since 1966 were carried out by a female attacker.
Now for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report. Listen in.
This 28-year-old transgender woman who carried out the shooting entered the side door of this Christian school and is believed to have at some point attended the school. Police say that it was indeed a targeted shooting, and while investigation is still ongoing, a manifesto has been found and a map of how she would carry out the attack. Police said that when they entered the building of the school, it was clear that the shooter had planned to carry out more shootings and had anticipated that she would confront law enforcement. The next few days, of course, will be critical in this investigation, as police said that they'll be investigating a motive behind the shooting and looking into that manifesto more closely as well. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.